For more than 70 years, the sight of a United States carrier strike group cutting through the waters of the Persian Gulf has been the final word, the ultimate, unanswerable argument in global politics. It's more than a fleet, it's a floating piece of American sovereignty, a symbol of overwhelming power. But what happens when someone finally comes up with an answer to that argument?
Well, as of today, that long-standing dominance has been challenged. A secretive deal, one that was finalized in the shadows while the world was looking the other way, has just redrawn the entire military map of the Middle East. And make sure you stay to the end, because I'm going to reveal some shocking things in this analysis. This isn't just about a new weapon. It's about a fundamental shift that could make a future war both unavoidable and completely unwinnable.
Okay, let's get right into it. The heart of this crisis is a newly confirmed defense contract between China and Iran. Intelligence has now verified that Tehran is about to get its hands on a weapon system that changes, well, everything. We're talking about the CM-302 supersonic anti-ship missile. And let me be perfectly clear about this. This isn't just another arms sale. This is Beijing handing Tehran a weapon specifically designed to do one thing and one thing only: to challenge and potentially sink a multi-billion-dollar American aircraft carrier. The implications of this are just staggering. So, what is it that makes this specific missile so unbelievably dangerous? Why is the Pentagon in a state of, let's say, calculated alarm? Well, it all comes down to the brutal, unforgiving laws of physics. Let's break down the hardware. Now look at this. For decades, naval defenses were built to handle subsonic missiles, like America's own Harpoon. Those travel at around 550 miles per hour. That's fast, sure, but it gives a ship's defense systems, like the Aegis system, minutes to detect it, track it, and shoot it down. The CM-302, it screams in at Mach 3. That's over 2,300 miles per hour. The time a ship has to react shrinks from minutes down to just seconds. But the speed is really only half the story. The other, and maybe even bigger problem, is its flight profile. The CM-302 is a sea skimmer. It flies just a few meters above the waves. And here's why that's so brilliant and so terrifying. Because the Earth is curved, a ship's powerful radar physically cannot see the missile until it pops over the horizon. And by then, it's only 20 miles away. So let's just walk through that timeline for a second. From the instant that missile is detected, a ship's crew and all its automated systems have roughly 30 seconds to do everything. That's 30 seconds to detect, confirm it's not a glitch, track a target moving at 3 times the speed of sound, and fire interceptors. It is an absolutely terrifying sequence where there is zero room for any error, none. And you have to remember, Iran isn't going to fire just one. Their entire military doctrine is built on saturation. These missiles are on mobile launchers that can be hidden away in the mountains, along the coast. The strategy is simple. Fire a volley of 20, maybe 30 missiles all at once from different places to completely overwhelm even the best defenses through sheer brute numbers. So you see, this is about way more than just a weapon. It's about the massive geopolitical message behind it. This deal is a critical move in China's larger global strategy. But why would Beijing make a move this provocative right now? Simply put, this is China's answer to years of economic pressure from the United States. With all the tariffs and the push to de-risk the global economy away from China, Beijing has basically decided it has very little left to lose. So this missile deal, it's China creating what military strategists call a strategic spoiler.
And this really shows you what that means. By arming Iran with this weapon, China forces the US to keep its most valuable naval assets, its aircraft carriers, stuck in the Persian Gulf. And think about it. Every carrier group that has to stay in the Middle East to deter Iran is one less carrier group that's available in the Pacific to deal with a crisis over Taiwan. It's a brilliant asymmetric move that gives China huge leverage, and they never have to fire a single shot themselves.
But it gets worse. There's a rumored secret clause that makes this whole deal even more dangerous. Reports are suggesting that China may also provide Iran with targeting data from its own Beidou satellite navigation system. See, a missile is only as good as its targeting. So if China provides the eyes from space to find a carrier, and the CM-302 provides the supersonic teeth to destroy it, Iran suddenly has a complete, top-tier, high-tech kill chain. All right, now let's switch gears and look at this from the perspective of a US Navy captain standing on the bridge of a destroyer. This weapon creates an absolute tactical nightmare. It forces commanders to confront the real possibility of a war that could be lost in less than a minute. The US really has two main ways to stop a missile like this: hard kill and soft kill. Hard kill is what it sounds like. You physically shoot it down. The Navy's been rushing to deploy laser weapons because a laser moves at the speed of light. But right now, the tech just isn't powerful enough to reliably destroy a hardened supersonic missile in the few seconds they have. Soft kill is electronic warfare, jamming the missile's guidance system. But the CM-302 was designed for that. It has a home-on jam feature. If you try to jam it, it just uses your signal as a beacon and follows it straight to you. This creates a completely impossible dilemma. To be safe, the carrier has to stay outside the missile's 290-kilometer range. But from that far away, its fighter jets, even the F-35, can't reach critical targets deep inside Iran without a massive and very vulnerable aerial refueling operation. China has effectively turned the Persian Gulf into a no-go zone for America's most powerful warships. And you have to understand, this deal isn't happening in a vacuum. The shockwaves are already ripping across the entire region, and it's triggering a chain reaction among America's allies. It's setting the stage for a very, very dangerous new arms race. I mean, just put yourself in Riyadh or Abu Dhabi's shoes for a minute. They are watching this unfold with absolute dread. For years, they've been trying to balance the relationships between Washington and Beijing. This deal forces their hand. And we're already hearing that they're demanding China sell them equivalent weapons just to try and restore some kind of balance. We are literally watching the birth of a regional supersonic arms race. And let's not forget the global economic stakes here. Every single day, 20% of the world's entire oil supply passes through one single narrow choke point, the Strait of Hormuz. With mobile CM-302 batteries dotting the coast, Iran doesn't even have to sink a ship. Just the threat is enough to send insurance premiums for oil tankers through the roof. China just handed Iran an oil switch to hold the global economy hostage. Ultimately, this all leads back to the one terrifying question that policymakers in the White House have to be asking themselves right now. For years, the debate was always about the cost of stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. This missile deal, it has just fundamentally changed the entire math of that war.
The price of any military intervention just went up by a factor of 10, maybe more. So here's the final question. Does this incredible new risk act as the ultimate deterrent, making a war just too costly to even think about? Or does it embolden Iran, convincing them they can now withstand any attack, making a catastrophic conflict all but inevitable?
We are watching a new chapter of military history being written in real time. Thanks for joining this analysis. Make sure you subscribe to stay ahead of the latest developments on this absolutely critical situation. Stay informed.